This is a problem. I need to get rid of this steel. It's really long, it's in the way. So I'm going to turn it into what it's intended to be, and that's a skylight. So I got this made up, and this is a 400 by 600 mil piece of toughened laminate glass. I've got 4 of them, so what I want to do is make the frames, and this will get rid of the steel. Once I get the frames made, then I'll be putting it to one side. I'll put the skylights in at a later date when the weather is a lot better. But if I can make the frames, then I can think about other things like hinges and how to lock them, etc, etc. I am making this up as I go along. This is a spare piece of plywood, and I'm going to make a template, and that will represent the glass going forward, and then I'll put away the glass somewhere safe. Now that I have my template, I can go ahead and chop up some steel. To give you an idea of where this is going, if you take these last 2 ribs, here's the end of the boat, and it's really dark, which is why I have to have a light down here, and right between those ribs will fit the window. Okay, so I have my pieces now. Measure once, cut twice. So you got 1 piece up there, 1 piece here. Frame has to be bigger than the glass to allow for sealant. The glass has to sit where my fingers end because there's a weld going down the middle of the T-bar. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it up and see how it works. I don't know if any of this makes sense at this moment. Let me spot weld it together and it'll make more sense. I can't believe how well that's turned out. It's flat, so there's no managed to do it without any warping. Let's see if it's maintained its shape. So this is the next bit. I have some lovely angle iron, and I have to now make a corresponding frame for this to go into. Oh, well, that was fun. So what have I done? Well, here it is. I've rounded off the edges. Learned how to do this. So now that I've one done, and 1 skylight frame done. I got 2 of them made, and then I ran out of steel. I've only got this left just under the quantity needed to make another one. I don't know what I did. I guess I miscalculated incorrectly with my needs. So I need another 5 meters of each of these to complete 4 of these windows. But as the purpose of this exercise is to actually get rid of the steel to make space, well, I've achieved that. It's now down into more manageable sizes. So we're going to leave that for a moment, and I'll come back to that at a later date. I've scouted ahead to see if I can find a spot, and I have a spot. It's also pretty wet, grey and rainy, so I'm hoping that nobody will be out today, and as a result the spot will be there when I turn up. As we're moving on to the Regents Canal, it's very important that we have a spot secured before we actually go there, because it's incredibly busy. Nice. This will be interesting. The wind is actually pushing it out. I better... made a mistake. I dropped the wrong lee board down. I know that I'm going to be mooring on this side and that will have to be pulled back on. I'll do it at the lock. I hope I remember. I'm rather hoping that this building is going to be restored. It's an old warehouse and everything else has been demolished, and as you see, this gap now will be turned into apartments on either side of it. It's actually proving to be quite difficult to maneuver. The wind keeps pushing her around. I think I might just time-lapse this bit. Yeah, this next bit is going to be a bit difficult, especially with the wind blowing. If you look to your left, you'll see Georgia. Hi, Georgia. So remember that lee board on the right-hand side? Well, it's about to get stuck. Now, I don't know why the boat's not moving, but in a moment I figure it out and lift the lee board up. And we're going again. And this is where it all goes horribly wrong. So the wind, if you look at the tree, is blowing down this cavern, and the bow of the boat is now going to be blown to the side. So I realise I'm going to have to go back, take a wider angle of attack. Look at the blue tarpaulin on the left. That will give you an indication of the wind. Well, I expected that to be difficult, hence the reason going to time lapse, and yes, it was. The wind was blowing me all over the place, so making the corners, as you saw, touch and go. Well, we're through. Here we go. And now we're into Limehouse Marina. That's how much I'm having to put steering in. There we go. Finally turned the way. Look at the flag. There's a tough wind coming off the Thames because I've already walked down it today, and yeah, it's blowing in through that gap. That's the lock out to the Thames. into the loch now, so this might be windy, complicated, God knows what. I always overshoot this, and I have a feeling that blue boat is not in a good spot. It's open. Ah! Crap. It's only opened one gate. Oh, good for a narrowboat. Good for me, though. Yeah, bad luck. Obviously, a narrowboat went through, and one gate is open that I need to. Oh yeah, I forgot, the locks are narrower here than the River Lee, so I'm not even remember which boat I'm on. Linda fits in just perfectly. That I've been away, I haven't been on the Regents Canal. There are new mooring rings here. So nobody's ever moored here in the past, simply because you couldn't. They have now got little mooring rings, which have obviously, they're new. So the Canal and River Trust has opened up this area for mooring, which you could never moor here before, because there were no mooring rings. Exciting! This is the last one. Okay, I'm just gonna get it tied up. Let's finish this job and get out of here. I'm happy that I've got, actually, do you know what? It's not actually cold. Well, I mean, I'm wrapped up. But, ooh, that's some rain. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
What do you call this plant?
An aggressive aloe vera.
Aloe vera, the very thing. Enda is only a foot high or 2 feet high or 3 feet high. It is one of the two plants that are famous up here. The other one is Lord, this damned island was made up of 2 islands one time, this being one of the islands, and the one down at Masca being the other island. And then El Tede blew up in between the 2 of them and joined them. Send for the stretcher.
Man down.
And
Man down.
And down. Are you taking pictures?
Oh, it's got perfect. Everything
catch
is
the slide.
perfectly in
Perfect,
shot.
man.
That butterfly really likes you. What happened in the French Revolution?
Paddy the Englishman, Paddy the Irishman, Paddy the Scotsman were sentenced to be beheaded by the guillotine. So Paddy the Englishman went in and put his head on the block. The fella pulled the lever and the guillotine blade stopped. Thunk. That meant, of course, that they were free. So that was all right. Paddy the Scotsman, his turn came. The man pulled the lever again. The big guillotine blade stuck and stopped. He was free. And so then it was Paddy the Irishman's turn. So he was lying on the block with his looking upwards. And he said, I think I see the problem.
I don't get it. I don't know, Enda. Do you feel offended?
What was that you said?
Do you feel offended, Enda?
Racist
Yeah.
remark.